So about 2 weeks ago on stream, I shared a story about my experience with the company DSPIAE. If you remember my video from last month, I did an unboxing and review on their Lunar New Year toolkit. And of course, I went all out with the B-roll, trying to be all fancy with it. And so after that, I contacted DSPIAE. I said, hey, I made this video. Do you guys like it? Would you want someone to make more videos like this for your products? Not necessarily asking for a sponsorship, though kind of asking for a sponsorship. And they actually replied back to me. They pretty much said they do all their video in-house, so they don't have a need for someone to make videos for them. However, they still were impressed and they decided they wanted to send me some stuff. Free stuff, can't really turn that down. So in the package they sent me were 2 of these sanding sponge sets. So inside this kit, there's 5 different grits, varying from 1,000 to 2,500. Within each of the grits, there are 6 sponges, and there's 2 each of 3 different thicknesses. I already used 1 of each of these just to try them out, and they're pretty cool. You can wet sand or dry sand with these, so they're very versatile, or you could stick them onto something like a popsicle stick and make your own sanding sticks. And they come in at about $10, so they're not too pricey. Honestly, I think it's about the same as the sanding sticks I recommended in the past, and they have 2 different versions of this kit. This is for more fine sanding, but they have a kit with lower grits for more nub mark removal. Another thing they sent me was the Siren Ultimate File. This is going to have an equivalent grit strength of 12,000. So I haven't really checked out this Siren file, but as you can see, it is very shiny. It's actually branded as well, but because it's so shiny, you can't really see the logo on camera right there. And the last item they sent me is actually somewhat of a secret. I haven't seen it in any online stores so far, and DSPIAE hasn't even actually announced it yet on any of their pages. But of course, I had to make a fancy reveal trailer for you guys, so let's check it out. So this is the DSPIAE CERBERUS. To be honest, when I first opened it up, I had no idea what it was. And I tried digging online to find any information on it, and obviously I couldn't find anything because they haven't announced it. But then I realized, oh, it's a sanding stick. The patches on the front and the back are perfectly shaped for their adhesive sanding strips. And they work to where when you remove the sanding strip, there's no residue. So unfortunately, they didn't send me actual adhesive strips to use with this. So I went out and bought some of my own, which were pretty fairly priced. It was a 30 pack for about $3. The only thing is you can only get them in 1 grit at a time. They don't have a pack for multiple grits. So the way this tool works, like I said, it has 2 sides. One side is a flat side, just like your standard sanding stick, and the other side is somewhat rippled. So what DSPIAE claims is that with the rippled side, when you put the adhesive sandpaper on it, it actually gives it a little more cutting power because it's rippled. I haven't noticed it too much, maybe because I wasn't using a low enough grit, but even then it feels really nice in the hand. And I reached out to DSPIAE wondering how much exactly this is, because you know, in the Gunpla world, tools tend to be pretty overpriced. So they replied back to me and they said, hey, it's gonna be less than $10, and that's in US dollars. So honestly, for this piece of aluminum, it would be $10. It still feels really good, and I think that might be worth the money. What you could do is you could buy multiple ones of these, stick multiple grits of sandpaper. Technically, each stick can hold 2 different grits on it, so you can use one side and then flip it over to the other side. But for the most part, for what it is, I'm pretty satisfied with it. And honestly, even though I use the razor for a majority of my builds, I can definitely see myself using this for when I do painted builds where I wouldn't need necessarily a completely smooth finish. And this, of course, would pair really nicely with their tabletop vise. Now this one I actually bought on my own. Unfortunately, they didn't send me one, but I thought it was pretty worth the money. But I'm not here to review this one today. So with a firm sanding stick like this, combined with a vise like this, that actually will allow you to get finer sanding details. In other words, sharper corners when you're sanding instead of curving over them. But yeah, that's my opinion on this tool so far. If you want to check it out yourself, the only store I saw that has it is Majin Hobby, and I'll include a link down below so you guys can check it out. And in other news, we have a Discord now. Right now we only have about 23 people in it, but we're all chilling, talking about random Gunpla stuff, and sharing a surprising amount of Gunpla memes. So let me be the first person to invite you to the hangar. And thank you to my friend Andy for designing the icon for it. He absolutely didn't have to do it, and I didn't pay him for it, so. But that about wraps it up, guys, so thank you for watching. Be on the lookout for more in-depth tool reviews, maybe even for these, or the Siren file. But in the meantime, pick up the kit and start building.